Hello, my beautiful peoples, and we are, surprise, surprise, talking about more Starfield because, well, I can't stop thinking about it, so why should you? So, today I wanted to talk about what's going to fill these planets. We are getting over 1,000 planets, over 1,000. Drill that into your head, over 1,000, not 1,000, over 1,000. Over 1,000. And a big part of that has a lot of people worried is a bunch of empty planets. We've seen games like No Man's Sky come out, and to be fair, nowadays No Man's Sky is a pretty solid game. Check it out if you haven't. But when it launched, the biggest problem with the, infinite expanding universe of that game was that more and more of the planets seemed to kind of blend together, and if they weren't blending together, they were just not fun to explore, because there wasn't really anything to do on there except mine and scan different creatures, which, if you're into, I don't even know what you would call that, but if you're into that, then hey, more power to you. You enjoy what you want, you do you. But Bethesda fans, we've grown accustomed to, some pretty unique things in video game worlds. Now, when I say unique, I'm talking about the random encounters. I can't tell you how many times I've been playing a Bethesda game and I'm just, strolling along from point A to point B. Maybe I got a mission objective I'm headed towards. And then something happens, whether it's I discover something interesting that I want to explore, and that takes, up to an hour out of my time because I was distracted, but it was a good distraction. Or something I think about that happens in Skyrim quite a bit, at least when I play it, is somebody will run up to me and start talking to me about something, or I'll stumble on a big fight that's happening. That's happened several times in Fallout 4 as well, where you'll stumble upon the Brotherhood fighting the synths or something like that. And that's something that I really hope Starfield has. With over 1,000 planets, I feel like, without beating around the bush here, let's be completely honest, there's no way that all of these planets are going to have, just a bunch of meaningful, interesting content. It's just not possible. I mean, Todd Howard himself even said that some of the planets are going to be kind of realistic in the fact that he made it sound like some of the planets we won't even be able to set foot on because of, the way space works. My buddy was talking, there's certain planets that are made up of certain types of gases that makes it so you literally couldn't even set foot on them. And if that's going to be the case, then, I guess maybe they're going for a realistic approach and they'll have stuff like that. But in my opinion, being a video game, just don't even put those things on there. If there's over 1,000 planets, but say 300 of them are non-explorable because of the make of the planet, why are they in the game? I really don't see any good reason for them not to be in there. So, I mean, it's always possible, best case scenario, that all of these planets have substantial and meaningful content, and we are inevitably going to get DLC for Starfield, which will hopefully populate more of these planets with things to do. But I don't see that happening unless it's in a DLC. And even with a DLC, I mean, how are you gonna populate over 1,000 planets with meaningful content? There's always the possibility, which what I'm hoping is the more than likely scenario, which is that every one of these planets has at least one or two interesting things to find, kind of almost like an Easter egg, say walking around on planet Xenon 7 or something like that. It's the 937th planet you've been to, and you're strolling along, you don't see anything, and then finally off in the distance you see a cave. You explore that cave, there's creatures and stuff to take out, but at the end of the cave you find a skeleton with an arrow in its knee, and it's got an ancient Nord greatsword right there. Stuff like that. That would be really cool. That's what I enjoy about open world RPG games, is being rewarded for my exploration. And we know there's going to be resources and outposts, and that's another part of it. I think is maybe that's another big plus about having the so many different planets, is maybe there's going to be certain materials that we need that are extremely rare for crafting and for our ships, but without those materials you won't be able to get to that next level of crafting. And maybe those are the things that we're going to be finding on some of these extremely rare planets that we find. And even if there's nothing on those planets, maybe that's how they can justify having that planet. is because that planet is the only place where you gather that rare resource. Although I do think that doesn't necessarily justify having so many planets, because you could always condense that and put it in a secret hidden spot on a specific type planet, but that's kind of where my head's at. That's the only real reason I could see maybe having so many planets is the resource management. Maybe there's a lot of resources that are only specific to certain planets, which wouldn't be surprising. We've seen stuff like that in No Man's Sky and whatnot, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't have me worried. With that in mind, what do you guys think? Do you think this over 1,000 planets is a good idea, bad idea? Good idea, bad idea? I mean, I feel like the general consensus is when we hear over 1,000 planets is like, that's not good. I don't think that's gonna work out. But it's Bethesda. I like to give them the benefit of the doubt because they have disappointed us before. Fallout 4 wasn't exactly the game I was hoping for, but playing it over time and, you know, multiple playthroughs, I've learned to love it a lot more than I did initially. And we all talk shit about Skyrim, but Skyrim's been being played for over 10 years. I myself have purchased like 6 different versions of it on different systems just because I really enjoy, you know, that world, and there's something about it that always just draws me back. So I hope Starfield has that same effect on all of us, because I would really hate for this game not to work out, for us to be incredibly disappointed, and I don't know, man. I really don't know. Over 1,000 planets is a lot. There's so many things we don't know about this game, despite how awesome that direct was, because they showed off quite a bit more than we were used to. I'm probably actually going to do a comparison video between that footage and the footage year prior, because it looks like completely different games. And they even said when it comes to like major cities, there's about 4 of them. Now, granted, if these are like cyberpunk quality cities, and when I say cyberpunk quality, I don't mean like buggy, glitchy messes. I mean like the size, the scope, and the density that is Night City from Cyberpunk, because I still to this day, despite how disappointing that game was, think that is one of the most impressive locations I have ever seen in a video game. I apologize if you hear the banging around. My cat is just, he's exploring right now. Jamie, get down. Come on. Daddy's working. But 4 cities is not a lot, so unless they're cyberpunk quality, like, that worries me as well. I mean, if you think of Skyrim alone, there's a bunch of cities in that game, not even including the villages and stuff. Granted, some of them were smaller, some of them were bigger, but I don't know. It's definitely something that's got me worried. Let me know how you guys feel about that down in the comments below. Let's get a discourse going. Is that the right word? Discourse? Discussion? You know, back and forth. But yeah, let me know how you guys think this is all gonna turn out. What are your guys' thoughts and opinions on it? And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Starfield content, because we're gonna be doing a lot more videos on Starfield. Like I said, I'm very interested in this game and I have a lot to speculate on. And yeah, that's all I got for you. I'll catch you in the next one.